also a person sympathetic to the Congress, Mr. Lokesh Jindal. Now, Mr. Jindal, first to you. There is now growing evidence to suggest that this was an attack sponsored by someone who had a vested interest, somebody within. The opposition, the BJP says, is today trying to divert attention from what the BJP claims is a Congress left axis at work to somehow undermine India's cradle of democracy, its parliament. How do you respond to this charge?
Well, good evening, Rahul. There are certain important points that we need to put into focus. First is, on 6th of December, Guru Patwant Singh Pannu, he had released a threatening statement that he would carry out an attack in the parliament on 13th of December. Subsequently, the police personnel, they had a meeting and they had increased the security cover to 300 personnel. But on Wednesday, the personnel count was reduced from 300 to 176. And secondly, these people who entered the parliament, they were given a recommendation passed by BJP MP. Now, these security personnel are from the CRPF and Delhi police. Tell me, Rahul, what does this indicate? On what basis are you holding the opposition hand in glove with this act when the entire police, CRPF, there was dereliction of duty, the personnel covers were not there, shoes were not checked. In fact, re-entry was permitted. All these breach, even after when there was a threatening statement issued on 6th of December, what does this indicate? It is a serious matter and it cannot be politicized like this.
Okay, so
there
you're saying
something grave and serious.
Okay, so what you're saying is by adducing motives to some of these accused, by suggesting that they have linkages with, quote, Andolanjeevis, unquote, you are trivializing a matter of supreme national importance. Yes. Okay, that's what the Congress is saying here tonight, viewers. Let me bring in the BJP spokesperson to respond. We also have Mr. A. Sarvanan and Karan Verma with us. Tuhin Sinha, would you like to respond to Mr. Lokesh Jindal tonight?
Good evening, Rahul. Good evening, everybody. You know, in a strange, uncanny way, the attack inside Parliament yesterday reminds me of what was supposed to be India's first hijacking episode of an airplane on 20th December 1978. When two people, Devendra Pandey and Bholanath Pandey, apparently, staged a hijack drama on a flight from Kolkata to Lucknow. They took it to Banaras. Later, it was found out that they were Congress Karyakartas who were demanding the release of Indira Gandhi, who was arrested by the then Janata government, and subsequently, one of them, Bholanath Pandey, went on to become a two-term MLA. So I'm not saying that, something exactly similar has happened, but yes, the antecedents of all of the four accused in this crime clearly suggest, that they belong to a certain ecosystem which is habitually and compulsively at loggerheads with a democratically elected government. Now, yes, there is no denying the fact that there has been a security lapse. But look at it this way. While we have successfully thwarted Pakistan-sponsored terrorism in the last 9.5 years, this is a new form of hybrid terror of Andolanjeevis and urban Naxals. About whom
one second, let's not talk of each other, gentlemen. Let's keep this. 1 second, Mr. Sinha. Look, you can blame the opposition for these Trojan horses, as you seem to imply they are. That's all very well. You then invoke Pakistan-sponsored terrorists. I mean, with the way things were yesterday in the House, all these people, whether they were Andolanjeevis, as you call them, or Pakistan-sponsored terrorists, they could have walked in. At the end of the day, the buck stops. No, 1 second. It's not as if the opposition facilitated their entry into a extremely restricted space. It is the cradle of our democracy. It is the soul. So asking you, Mr. Tuhin Sinha, today the question that is being posed by the BJP, by the opposition is, the man in charge of internal security has not issued a statement.
Yes.
So, is that a legitimate demand, number one? And then for making that demand, maybe in an overzealous manner, 14 of their members of parliament have been suspended. So, they're claiming that you're also muzzling the opposition from asking a basic question. Could you respond to those?
Let us come to it one by one. Number one, was there a security lapse? There is no denying the fact that yes, there was a security lapse, and that is precisely what I was explaining.
At whose door, therefore, does the buck stop, Mr. Sinha?
No. So, when it comes to action, all of these accused, number one, have been charged under UPA section. So
I'm asking you, if there has been a lapse, who is responsible for this lapse? I'm asking you an open question that the opposition is asking you.
A comprehensive investigation is underway. See, I mean, we are following an old system where, unfortunately, based on you producing your identity card, which is either an Aadhaar card or a PAN card or a passport, normally, the members of parliament don't turn away visitors. These are white-collar terrorists. That is precisely what I was explaining. It's a new form of hybrid terror, about which we definitely need to be
more
vigilant.
But Mr. Tuhin Sinha, look, I don't want to badger you tonight, but I'm asking you some fundamental questions. On the 7th or 8th of October, about 2 months ago, there was a devastating security breach in Israel. Now imagine if these two people who intruded were carrying something more lethal and they threatened to blow up that munition. You would have had a hostage crisis that could have gone on for days altogether. There were about 150, maybe even 200 members of parliament. So I'm asking you specifically tonight, where does the buck stop? And if there are certain MPs who are asking questions of your government, should they be suspended? It's just a simple question, sir.
No. Number one, the suspension is not happening because they are asking questions. They have a history of hooliganism, right from Derek O'Brien tearing a bill 10 years ago when the Telangana bill was introduced to now. They have a history of hooliganism. That's point number one. See, I have no qualms in accepting that there has been a security lapse.
Right.
And obviously, as the government of the day, we are committed to ensure that the leakages, the loopholes will be attended to, will be addressed immediately. Why this lapse has occurred? It has occurred because it's a new form of hybrid terror. That is precisely what, and we need to be more vigilant of the challenges. It's a learning experience for the government.
But I mean, the lapse was laughable actually. I don't want to trivialize it. Can you imagine someone walking in with munitions through 3 tiers of security, viewers? Now, I'm only asking these questions because if Parliament is this vulnerable, I mean, I shudder to think, what about the other institutions? Anyhow, let me open this up further.